Welcome returners and newcomers alike to this special lightning round edition of Grudge Match, the show where the top characters from Marvel and DC come together to blow each other apart. In this special episode, we're going to blitz our way through several often requested matchups that for one reason or another aren't quite adequate for a full Grudge Match episode. So wasting no time, let's dive right into our first lightning round matchup, and it's going to be the matchup of Bane from DC versus any number of the Bruiser class characters from the Marvel Universe, most often requested being Juggernaut, Abomination, Thing, and Venom. Now, in all of these cases, Bane versus any one of these characters from Marvel, the problem is the same for each and every one of them. Bane, while a very good matchup for Batman and a very large and muscular character, does not actually have a very high degree of superhuman strength, durability, or any actual real superhuman abilities whatsoever, versus all of these bruisers on the Marvel side who do. In fact, even with the chemical steroid known as Venom that Bane uses to increase his strength and his basic physical abilities, it doesn't give him a very high degree of superhuman abilities at all. His maximum level of strength with the maximum amount of Venom chemical that he can possibly have surging through his veins, increasing his power to the max, is about 3 tons worth of strength, slightly enhanced durability. That doesn't even come close to the weakest of the Marvel Bruisers, the weakest of those mentioned being Venom. And even at his weakest point, he can still lift approximately 50 tons. He's always viewed as stronger and more powerful than Spider-Man, the character he most often fights against. And the Venom symbiote is virtually invulnerable to anything other than fire and sonic-based weaponry. Now, while that does give him a vulnerability that Bane could possibly exploit, Bane is vulnerable to those same things and infinitely more, as he doesn't have any greater resistance than a normal human. Maybe a slighter degree of durability than the average human, but not much. And the other bruisers get even more powerful than that. The Thing from the Fantastic Four is in the 100-ton class area of strength. He can lift about 100 tons under optimal position, and his rock skin is completely invulnerable to damage. Abomination's stronger yet, 100+ tons. He's strong enough to go blow to blow with the Hulk and is completely invulnerable to most types of damage. Juggernaut, the most powerful of them all, potentially limitless strength, well over 100 tons, and completely invulnerable to all harm except mental attacks, which Bane doesn't have at his disposal. So in any of these matchups, Bane versus the Bruisers of the Marvel Universe, each one of the Bruisers has significantly more physical power than Bane himself. While they may look comparable in terms of size, bulk, and musculature, Bane doesn't have near the power that these other characters do. So in all of these respects, the win goes to the Bruisers of the Marvel Universe. The next matchup in this lightning round is going to be the Battle of the Super Speedsters, Flash versus Quicksilver. Now, while Quicksilver is the premier speedster in the Marvel Universe and probably the fastest among them, his speed does not even come close to what the Flash is capable of. The Flash of DC, being the primary character connected to the mythical Speed Force in the DC Universe, has potentially limitless speed. Not only can he easily move as fast or faster than the speed of light, something that would in real life be considered impossible, because the Flash is connected to this Speed Force, he can break the speed of light barrier. And he can go even faster than that. He can break the time barrier, he can break dimensional barriers, all through moving even faster than the speed of light. But even if we were to limit him to the laws of physics and say his top speed is the speed of light, he can't go any faster than that, that is still way faster than Quicksilver's capable of moving. At his fastest, Quicksilver generally goes at subsonic speeds up to at about Mach 4, but he could potentially go faster than that, and he has been seen traveling half the distance around the Earth in 92 seconds. After crunching the numbers, that translates to roughly 600,000 miles per hour. Incredibly fast, but nowhere near as fast as the speed of light that the Flash is capable of. Quicksilver's top speed, 600,000 miles per hour. Flash's top speed of the speed of light, 671 million miles per hour. So Flash is literally over 10 times faster than Quicksilver on his worst day. Add to that the fact that he can use his speed in various other ways, such as phasing through solid objects, the infinite mass punch, variety of other things. Quicksilver can do some of them, but not to the same degree that Flash can. It's really a mismatch of characters here. Even though Quicksilver is the primary speedster of the Marvel Universe, his speed does not come close to that Barry Allen, the Flash of the DC Universe. So in this matchup, the win goes to the Flash. The next match in this lightning round is the pairing of the Joker versus Green Goblin. Both of these characters are comparable in being psychotic and outlandish characters that are the arch nemesis of their respective heroes, Joker being the arch nemesis of Batman, Green Goblin of Spider-Man. But it tends to be a blowout when you actually look at what they're capable of. Green Goblin actually has superhuman powers because of his exposure to the Goblin Serum. He has a strength level of approximately 10 to 20 tons. It's gone up and down over the years. And equally enhanced physiology, meaning enhanced durability, speed, reflexes. He also has a genius-level intellect. And on top of all that, not just is he superior than Joker on a physical scale, but he also has access to high-grade weaponry. He uses his Goblin Glider and pumpkin bombs, high-grade, military-grade occasionally weaponry, because his company originally designs weapons for the military. So high-grade, even military-grade weaponry. And he also, Norman Osborn, is super rich, so he has vast resources at his disposal. None of these factors work for the Joker. Joker is actually physically weaker than your average human being. He doesn't work out very well, he has absolutely no physical superhuman abilities, and tends to be weaker than the average person. He is a criminal genius and is great at formulating schemes and plans that are really big thorns in the side of his nemesis Batman, but this is a fight, and when it comes to a straight-up fight with no prep time, that doesn't play into his favor too well. Now, he does have a variety of weapons that he keeps on him at all times, including guns and gas in terms of the Joker gas, Joker Venom, and acid shooting flower on his lapel, some various weapons that he can use. These pale in comparison to the types of weaponry that the Green Goblin has on him at all times. So this is a real unbalanced match. While these two characters have a lot in common, Green Goblin is clearly physically superior, weapon-wise superior, more resources, smarter. Everything's going to fall in his favor. So in this matchup between Joker and Green Goblin, the matchup has to go to the Green Goblin. One more match in our lightning round edition here, and this is a match of which there can be no deciding who the winner would be. And that's going to be the matchup between Scarlet Witch and Raven. Now, the reason it is impossible to determine who could possibly win between these two characters is because these two characters, more than any other in Marvel and DC, have the most poorly defined powers of any character. It is virtually impossible to reconcile their generally listed power sets with what they've actually been able to do over the years in terms of the feats they've accomplished. So, for example, Raven's expressed powers that she is recognized as having are very limited. They tend to be that she has the ability of astral projection, the ability to create the ghost-like raven creature out of darkness that she constantly uses, and she can use that for either astral projection or teleportation of herself and others. She also has a general empathic sense, the ability to detect the emotional states of others, and a small degree of rudimentary telekinesis, the ability to move things with her mind. That's not a wide degree of power. That's useful for teleportation with the astral projection of her soul self, but beyond that, that's not a high degree of strength and ability. Yet she's been able to defeat her father, the godlike powerful demon Trigon, when he came to Earth to try to destroy it. Where much more powerful other heroes in the DC universe couldn't even scratch Trigon, she had the ability to actually defeat him and send him back to his home dimension. And she's also done other things, like in a recent series of Teen Titans, she was able to anchor the Teen Titans in time and locate where other Teen Titans were lost in the time stream and bring them all together. That gives her almost a form of time travel ability. And at any given time, the writers can sort of use her to do whatever they want to do without having much of an explanation. So she has a very poorly defined power set and very poorly defined limits to her power. The same holds true with Scarlet Witch. When she was created and brought into the Avengers, her only real power were what were called hex bolts. She could manipulate probability fields and make either people she didn't like have extreme bad luck, or people she did like would have extreme good luck through the use of these hex bolts. That is a small type of reality manipulation, which is what her power actually is, reality manipulation. But when she lost control of her mind and went crazy, it went into the stratosphere in terms of power. She actually altered the entire universe, everybody's memories, created virtually an entire universe exactly how she wanted it to be. That is massive, godlike scale reality manipulation. And then, in the recent AVX storyline, when the Phoenix returned to Earth, massively godlike, powerful cosmic god, her power was the only power that could stand up to the Phoenix and would actually hurt the Phoenix Force. So her power is very ill-defined as well. Basically, whatever she wants to do, or whatever the writers want her to do, she can. So that's why it would be very difficult to impossible to decide a winner between these two characters. Their express powers are very ill-defined. They don't seem to have a lot in the way of really powerful abilities when just trying to find a rundown of their abilities, but in practice and in usage, they can accomplish feats that the most powerful members of their universes can't even come close to doing. So a matchup between Scarlet Witch and Raven would be nigh impossible to determine a winner between. So that's going to do it for this lightning round edition of Grudge Match, where some matches were determined based on power levels and others couldn't be determined at all. But let me know down below what you think of the outcomes or non-outcomes of these matchups, and any other potential lightning round matchups you think would make for good, quick run-throughs, and we'll see you next time on the next edition of Grudge Match.